Simmons. A lot of people didn't really feel as though this kid was, I'm not going to necessarily say appreciative or humble or whatnot, but, he was very vocal about whether or not he wanted to work out for Philadelphia or not. Matter of fact, I think he said he didn't want to work out in Philadelphia. So, a very big deal. But nonetheless, the Philadelphia 76ers said that they were going to go ahead and draft Ben Simmons. They did draft Ben Simmons at the number 1 position. I've heard so much about the kid saying that he's LeBron-like, or he has LeBron-like ability, saying that he's that good. So I'm very interested in seeing how this plays out. Of course, I saw Ben Simmons vaguely during the basketball season last year with LSU. I'm not going to say that I wasn't impressed, but, if you're supposed to be that good, if you're supposed to be number 1 draft pick status, I think you need to make so much of a difference on your team that your team at least makes the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying? That's just being honest. I think you should at least get your guys to the NCAA tournament. But, that's neither here nor there. He's in the NBA now. So I think now his major goal or his major point of emphasis is to make sure that the Philadelphia 76ers do better than they did last year. Of course, Brandon Ingram, Duke. Yes, Duke. Duke prodigy. I am a major Duke fan. And then, of course, he's going to the LA Lakers. And then just going down the list of number 1 first round draft picks. Of course, you got Jaylen Brown out of Cal, point guard out of University of California. He's going to the Boston Celtics. Dragon Bender. I'm sorry, that's a dope ass name. Dragon Bender. Of course, he's out of Israel. He's going to the Phoenix Suns. Chris Dunn out of Providence, going to Minnesota. Buddy Hield, Bohemian, or a kid from the Bahamas. Dude is a lights out shooter. Did a very good job for the University of Oklahoma. And it is said about Buddy Hield that he actually improved his draft stock tremendously over the past year and a half. Because they were saying that leading up to his junior year, Buddy Hield was struggling. He was struggling for the University of Oklahoma. Of course, last year, he definitely made a big name for himself, shooting almost close to 50% behind the arc. The kid was good. I'm just flat out. The kid was good. Jamal Murray out of Kentucky. Another Kentucky prodigy that makes another year straight that John Calipari is able to put a kid in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So that makes his resume all the more better. But of course, Jamal Murray out of Kentucky headed to Denver. Marquise Chris out of Washington headed to Sacramento. But Phoenix owns the rights to that pick. Jacob Paletti. He's out of Utah. He's going to Toronto. Thon Maker. Now, I have to make a point about Thon Maker. Thon Maker, it was some controversy about this kid, mainly because of the fact that they didn't know whether or not he was eligible to go into the NBA. But the story with this kid was that I think he escaped. He was originally from, I forgot what country it is in Africa. I got to look that up. But he basically, his country was at civil war, so he escaped his country with his family at the age of 6. He was living in Australia, playing basketball in Australia, but now the kid has an opportunity to be in the NBA. Just shouts out to the kid, Thon Maker, 7 foot, can shoot the ball, could drive to the hole, can actually take over a game, so I'm excited to see about this guy. Domantas Sabonis, if that name sounds familiar. You know what I'm saying? His father, of course, played in the NBA beforehand. So, very big deal with him. He's going to the Orlando Magic. Taurean Prince out of Baylor. He was picked up by the Utah Jazz, the Atlanta Hawks, due to the trade with Jeff Teague to the Pacers, and the Pacers trading their guy to the Utah Jazz. Now the Atlanta Hawks actually own the rights to the trade, or own the trade rights to Taurean Prince from the Utah Jazz. I'm not sure when he's going to come to Atlanta, but I'm pretty sure that he will. They said about this guy, he's a good shooter, almost like a Damari Carroll-like shooter. So I'm excited to see how that plays out for the Atlanta Hawks. And just so many other picks. I don't feel like going through all of the picks, but I really wanted to go through all of the ones that mattered. And matter of fact, while I'm on it, I definitely want to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and their picks. You know what I mean? I have to take the opportunity to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and their picks. Of course, we got DeAndre Bambury out of St. Joseph, another small forward. We got Isaiah Courtnier. He's out of France. another shooting guard, and then we got a point guard. So I guess we're going to go small ball. The other point guard we got was K. Fielder. He was out of Oakland, 5'9" guy that said he's supposed to be something like an Isaiah Thomas-like character. So, I'm excited to see what the Atlanta Hawks do. I would hope that we make sure that we take care of who we need to take care of, and we land a big name in free agency. But that's neither here nor there. I might save some of that for Wednesday because there's a lot of free agency talk going around right now, so I'll save some of that for Wednesday. But in the next segment, what I will be talking about, of course, is I won't be necessarily talking, but my homie, Lil Bighorn, I don't think you guys know who he is, but Lil Bighorn will be introducing himself. He has a couple questions for me. We'll address those questions. But you already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is me. He is I, and I am him. I am here that they call the AlphaMale. Turn up!
I'm back on road. If you wasn't there for me when I was all alone, then don't expect no love.
I'm just a East Atlanta with a body on his belt. I done had a million beats, but I ain't never come for help. I'll take a bricks and I done took a...
Affect Fitness.
Summertime is here. Now, let's be honest, you found every excuse not to work out. You probably put it off each week telling yourself, I got time. Well, time is up. And if you're looking for a gym that is effective and motivating to get you to your goal, then you have no other choice than to choose
Affect Fitness.
Affect Fitness is an intensive boot camp experience like no other. If you're looking to increase your personal power, recognize your own strength, and cultivate your mind and body, then Affect Fitness is the boot camp for you.
Are they downtown? Where are they located?
Affect Fitness is located in the heart of Atlanta at 1 Baltimore Place Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30308.
I have a crazy schedule, really, and I'm a morning person. I like coffee, so I really need a gym that's going to be open before the first waffle drops at Waffle House.
Affect Fitness has morning classes Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.
But I work a 9 to 5, and I need a gym that's going to be there the moment I get out of traffic. You know how this Atlanta traffic is.
Affect Fitness also has afternoon classes Monday through Friday at 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m.
This is so exciting, but are they open on the weekends?
Yes, Affect Fitness is also open during the weekend with classes on Saturday at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and Sunday before you go to church at 9 a.m. And there you have it. What other boot camp is open 7 days of the week with classes in the mornings and in the evenings to help get you to your goal? Like we said, if you're looking to increase your personal power, recognize your own strength, and cultivate your mind and body, then Affect Fitness is the boot camp for you.
Affect Fitness.
Another one. We the best music. Major key. DJ
Yeah, we are back. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. You already know what time it is. It is me. He is I, and I am him. I am he that they call the AlphaMale. I've kind of calmed down just a little bit because I want to make sure that I say everything clearly. I kind of have a knack for talking very fast, so let me just slow myself down. Let me get myself together. It is the first day on the job, but I'm very excited to be here. I can always say that. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this segment is brought to you by none other than the great folks at Affect Fitness. If you guys are looking for the right gym to help get yourself where you need to be in life, if you're tired of sitting down and looking at fat, just make sure that you make sure you go check out Affect Fitness. I mean, just seriously, I'm not down on anybody who's overweight. If you like your skin that you're in, do you. But if you want to get rid of some pounds, man, definitely make sure you guys check out Dooley Reggie over at Affect Fitness. I got a quick story real quick before we go into Lil Bighorn. I was in college, and I think I had stopped playing football at the time. I was around my junior, senior year. And so one day, this is when I realized I had to start losing weight. I was done playing football, but I kept eating like I was playing football. So, of course, that didn't help. So one day I got out the shower, and after I got done showering, I sat down. And when I sat down, I felt like this weird sensation. Like kind of felt weird on my chest. I was like, oh, my goodness. And I realized that my nipples were rubbing my belly button. Swear on everything. It was like close to my belly button, like down near my belly button. Bruh, just wasn't. I'm sorry. TMI? Okay, that's too much information. But seriously, I had to go ahead and start working out, and I hadn't looked back since. I loved it. I think at that time I was like 280. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was 280 pounds. Now I'm down to about a solid 240, 245. I'm trying to get down to 220. So definitely, like I said, man, it's very good to be on the other side of fat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not where I want to be, but I'm a whole lot further than where I was. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this segment, of course, is for my homie, Lil Bighorn. Now, Lil Bighorn, he's a little bit extra. I know I'm extra, but he's really extra. But I know he has a question for me, and I want to go ahead and get into it, man. Lil Bighorn, what you got for me, player?
Hey, thanks, AlphaMale, for that nice little shout-out that you gave me. People, if you don't know this voice, if you don't know who I am Little Bighorn. I am the alter ego of the AlphaMale. I say the shiggity that he won't. Major shout out to Doug Stewart for giving you this opportunity. So let's go ahead and take it and make the best of it, because I do not want to go back to that other station. Anyway, last week on an episode of The Jump, Tracy McGrady spoke about his almost draft day trade that would have sent him to the Bulls in place for Scottie Pippen to the Toronto Raptors. Now, of course, the great one, MJ, wasn't having that. He said no. AlphaMale, what's your take on this draft day story? And what do you think would have come of this if MJ hadn't stepped in?
Okay, well, Lil Bighorn, before I go any further, I want the people to actually hear out of Tracy McGrady's mouth what actually happened. Y'all take a listen.
Well, you know what a lot of people don't know about that night is that Jerry Krause was actually trying to make a trade for me and Scottie Pippen, and MJ called and axed that whole deal. But for me, being
Did you know that at the time?
Yes.
What?
Absolutely. Jerry Krause was trying to make a trade for me that night and Scottie Pippen. They brought me in for a secret meeting. Like, I flew in to Chicago to meet with those guys.
There you have it. Tracy McGrady just said, I'm going to just tell it all. Ain't no point in me trying to keep it in anymore. Amazing story, first off. I dig the story. Very interesting to see how, the fate of all NBA history could have been changed had Michael Jordan not stepped in and said something. Like, that's pretty. One of the things, first off, let me say this first. I like how a lot of the older athletes are starting to just spill the beans and just tell it like it is now. They don't want to hold it off anymore or be, politically correct. Screw that. Tell the truth. Hey, man, they didn't want Scottie Pippen anymore at that time. They were tired of the guy. They wanted me, a young kid who could probably keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So that is a dope. That is a dope idea. Now, I don't necessarily know if it was more so Jerry Krause trying to get rid of Scottie Pippen, or was it the Toronto Raptors trying to get an established veteran who's already won a championship to go ahead and, you know what I mean, and try to establish some type of winning legacy or winning persona in Toronto. Now, just being honest, Scottie would have been the number one guy had he gone to the Raptors. Seriously, he would have been the number one guy. At that time, some of the vets that was on the team, you had D. Brown, 7-year vet. D. Brown, of course, the slam dunk champion, was drafted by the Boston Celtics. Doug Christie, 5-year veteran. Popeye Jones, he was a 5-year veteran. And then they had a rookie, Chauncey Billups, who was traded to the Toronto Raptors at the time. Marcus Camby, who was a 2-year veteran, or a 2-year, young guy. And then they had a young Damon Stoudemire, and this is before he went out to the Portland Trail Blazers. So, I can't say whether or not it would have been a bad or a good idea. It's just very interesting to see how that played out. But, what really made me, pick this story to talk about out of all the other stories that I could have talked about today, what made it so interesting was the fact that Tracy McGrady kept this secret for a long time. I don't know if I was the only, if I'm just late on the news and maybe somebody else knows something more than I do, but he kept this secret for a while, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude.
Listen, I'm 18 years old, and I'm thinking I'm about to get traded to Chicago.
To be with Michael Jordan.
Right?
Before what was about to be a historic season.
Yes.
Because they did not end up trading Scottie Pippen for the chance to draft you.
Mike wasn't having that.
No, absolutely.
Not a guy
But you thought that was what was going to happen for what, 2 or 3 days? Or
I thought it was going to happen up until draft time.
The entire deal with this story is so interesting, mainly because of the fact, Tracy McGrady, like you said, he was 18 years old. He's a kid. you know, when you get news like that, if you get something that big, that monumental,